Hey guys, what's up? Matt here with your Wednesday Word. I hope you're doing well. We got a lot to cover. I love Bible studies like this, so let's dive right into it. I want to start and end with the question, what's your excuse? You think you can't be used by God? You think He can't do amazing things in your life? I'm going to give you 5 examples to show you whatever you've done in your past, whatever you're going to do in your future, cannot disqualify you from God's work, and He is able to use people like you and me every single day. Let's first dive in the first person, Noah. In Genesis chapter 9:20, Noah became drunk, and afterwards there was incest involved. We're not sure exact details, but and remember, this is after Noah had this great faith, built this ark, and overcomes the flood, and his family comes out. He goes and gets drunk and is involved with some kind of incest craziness with his family. This is after his great faith walk building the ark. Skip over a few chapters. Let's talk about Moses. Moses, Exodus 2:20. I'm going to put all these Bible verses underneath in the scripture here. Moses in Exodus 2:20 goes and murders a man. Now this is before God calls him and uses him in amazing ways to lead the people out of bondage into the promised land. So Moses, before God calls him, kills a man. What's your excuse? Skip over a few chapters here, still in the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 12, verse 13. Let's talk about Abraham. Abraham goes up to it and says, okay, guys, here's what's going to happen. When they see Sarah, they're going to see she's beautiful, and they're probably going to want to have me killed. Let's say she's my wife. Let's say she's my sister. So here his wife, Sarah, he says, when the king sees us, say, hey, that's my sister. Abraham flat out lied. Abraham was a liar. Remind you of anyone? Can't you and I stretch the truth and lie sometimes? Abraham was a liar, but afterwards God called him and used him to be the father of many nations, more than the stars in the sky, and used him in amazing ways. So before all this happened, Abraham was straight up lying to the king, saying, oh, that's my sister. I don't know much about her. That's just my sister. Hey, sis. So think about that. What's your excuse? Let's move over to 2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 4, to the man named David. You all know about David, this man of great faith. He goes out there and says, you're afraid of this giant? I can kill this giant. And he goes and slays Goliath. It's amazing. Give you chill bumps, the stories, all the kids are going to learn in church, all this stuff. Afterwards, after he's king, he sends his men off to battle. He's sitting back at home. He looks over and sees Bathsheba on the rooftop. He says, bring her to me. He commits adultery. He commits adultery, gets her pregnant. Then to try to cover up, he has his best friend, Uriah, sends him out to war in the front zone to have him killed. So then he has him killed. So he has adultery, and he gets his best friend, his main general, killed to try to cover it up. This was after the fact. God did amazing things in his life and allowed him to kill this giant and used him in miraculous ways. He goes and does something like this. What's your excuse? And then the last one here, let's go over to the New Testament, a man by the name of Thomas. You might know him as Doubting Thomas. Thomas was a man that walked with Jesus. One of the disciples saw him do all these miracles. Think about it. You see water to wine and fishes feeding 5,000, making the blind see and making the lame walk and raising people from the dead, and just on and on and on and on and on. Thomas, after Jesus was crucified, they said, they're sitting there, they're like, we saw Jesus, he's back. Thomas says, I don't believe it. That's why he's called Doubting Thomas. He's sitting there after all the miracles. You'd think they would know Jesus can do a lot of things. If he predicts his death and resurrection, he can do it because he's done all these other miracles that are unexplainable. But Thomas sitting there in John 20, chapter 20, verse 25, he doubts and has disbelief. This was after all the crazy miracles that Jesus did. What's your excuse? Now I can go on and on about these different people in the Bible, but this is 5 examples. Noah, Abraham, Moses, David, and Thomas, that all did crazy things, often way worse than things you and I do today, and God used them in amazing ways. And I want to challenge you, brother, and you, sister, to say God can use you. Don't let Satan tell you something otherwise. He can use you, do something big in your life. Just be faithful and be willing and say, God, here I am, send me. Do not let the people around you, in your circle, in your church circle, in your family, in your friends, somebody online, whatever it is, tell you otherwise. God can use you in amazing, amazing ways. It's not about numbers. Excuse me. It's not about subscribers or viewers or attendance, whatever. You don't know what one leads another, so forth. Just stay faithful and say, God, I'm here. Use me. What's your excuse? That's your Wednesday word. Subscribe if you haven't. Hope you guys have a great day. God bless you.